Before watching this video, please take a minute to read and understand our disclaimer. If you do not agree to this disclaimer, please close this video.
Now, just because they're going to distribute it, it doesn't mean that everyone's going to get that in one hit. This is what the market was scared about. What's actually going to happen is some individual creditors are going to claim theirs early. That's going to be between July, October. That's going to equate to about 35,000 plus 10,000 plus 8,000 plus another 16,000, which means that that whole $9 billion scare, it's not actually $9 billion. It's only half. It's only about 71,000. So 9 billion now turns into 4.5. Okay. From this, 9 billion turns into 4.5. From 4.5, we then learn that a lot of these individual creditors, the ETF companies like BlackRock, they've reached out to them and said, hey, I'm going to give you X amount for your Bitcoin. And when you get credited, I'm going to essentially buy that Bitcoin. So that means there's a lot of people that had held Bitcoin who have also already sold it. That's also going to reduce more pressure coming onto the market. So I think that this big fear of $9 billion coming onto the market, this was just overhyped. This was just fun. It just scared everybody into a major bear trap. So from 9, we've gone down to 4.5. And after the actual people who have gone and bought Bitcoin from these creditors, they don't get that Bitcoin until it gets released. But they've made an agreement where, you know, they would have given them maybe $5,000. I'm going to give you more than what it's worth. But when it comes out, I'm going to take it. Yeah. So they basically sold their Bitcoin, which means now from 4.5 billion, we could be looking at maybe $2 billion of actual selling pressure. It's just getting lower and lower. All right. And essentially, that's nothing to be too scared about. I'm just saying that this has just scared the shit out of the market because everyone just said 9 billion, but really it might actually be 2. And everyone just panicked because they didn't know the actual details of it. And it caused a major wide sell-off within the market. You can see here that 47,000 BTC has been moved away from these addresses and the funds have been consolidated on this date here. Basically, I don't think that much Bitcoin, let's say 70,000, let's say 50,000 BTC over a course of 3 months gets distributed. What's that leave us? Let's run some numbers here. 1,000 BTC divided by 3 months will give you 16,000 Bitcoin. If you go onto the Bitcoin chart and you type in BTC USDT, not the .p for perpetual, and you look at just the actual Binance one, here, what you'll notice is we turn on the volume indicator. So vol. And now here it tells you how many Bitcoin were traded in each bar as you highlight over them. And we have a look on a daily. You can see that yesterday on a weekend of low volatility, 19,000 Bitcoin were traded. We have a look on, let's just say one of these days here, there was 54,500 Bitcoin traded. And given the size of that dump, it was quite large. Yeah. That would tell me that at least 50% of those 54,000 were sellers. They were selling Bitcoin. That would leave you at 27,000 Bitcoin. They're going to distribute 16,000 a month. Can you see how this is really just a drop in the ocean? This actually isn't that big of a deal. Thumbs up if you started to see the bigger picture. Thumbs up if you feel played and you want to go and headbutt all the people that said we're going to 10K. Do you feel played? Because I feel played. After I really started to go through all this data, I'm like, wow, they just made a whole market shit themselves and panic sell absolutely every single thing that they had. When looking at the numbers, it's actually a lot smaller than what it is. Let's keep dividing this. Let's say 30 days and they get divided over, you know, each 30 days, 500 Bitcoin a day. You're seeing price movement of 54,000 Bitcoin in a single day. 500 is not going to make that big of a deal. This was the post that really got this whole idea across to me. mtgox FUD. mtgox will start repaying 140,000. As soon as you hear 141,000, you're already thinking, shit, that's a lot, right? But until we broke down those numbers, it looks smaller. The market is dumping as people thinking Bitcoin might hit 45 or 40K. Let's clarify the FUD. It'll happen in 3 phases. Early payments, July to October. That's what we're seeing now. The intermediate payment, it's going to be the end of the year. And the final payment, which is going to be the rest, which is going to be the last in the next couple of years. We just talked about the early payments. That will be 71,000 BTC. Let's assume that 50% of these coins will be sold. The total selling will be 35,700 BTC, which will be 2.1 billion. Right now, the market can handle 6 to 10K of selling pressure as ETF inflows are low. So right now, just from retail buyers and us guys trading, it can handle $6,000 to $10,000 sell pressure days, and it still won't budge too badly. During high ETF inflows, BTC can easily absorb 15 to 25K of daily BTC sell pressure. This means that even the whole amount, 35,700, it won't have a bad effect on the market as it seems. The reason people are dumping their Bitcoin is because they're overestimating the mtgox selling. Could not agree more. Could not agree more. We all got played. IMO, 44 to 52K will be the area where Bitcoin finds its support, and it'll be a black swan event, war, or pandemic that could push Bitcoin below that. We may actually not go as deep as what we've been told. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to follow, share, and subscribe with your friends, and also make sure to check out empirecryptotrading.com for more tips and to see more live calls just like this. We'll see you in Empire Platform.